I want to talk to you a little bit about connecting with people on a deeper level and moving them further along the know, like, and trust scale to become your clients in a space where a lot of people are vying for their attention. How do you stand out in a sea of online service providers, online product sellers, people who are using a lot of the same strategies as you, right? I think a lot of times we have this tendency to say, I need to do what she did over here, or I need to host a training like she did over here, or I need to run Facebook ads like she did. I need the perfect email opt-in sequence, or I need to run a challenge. Like that's the thing that's finally going to get me the clients, or I need to show up on Facebook Live every day, or I need like better photos of myself before I start posting. But I'm going to tell you the truth, like building an online business and getting people's trust and getting them to pay you is not a matter of, I did this one thing and it was my first, it was the first webinar I ever did and it made 5 figures, right? Or it's not like I did a challenge and I launched out of it and I made 6 figures or whatever. Like we get bombarded with those ads. Or I bought these few things and I resold them at a huge profit and like my business totally took off, like whatever. I built a great downline. If you're in, if you're in network marketing and like everything exploded and like you should learn, you should buy from me, right? Here's the thing, like, despite what we're told, there are a combination of factors that come together for business success. And here are the things that you could take responsibility for right now. And if you've got questions, I would love for you to drop them in the comments, whether they are related to this or not. I am happy to answer them. First of all, it starts with who are you serving and how are you serving them, right? Knowing your niche. And if you don't know where to start, you need to brush up on that. Grab Know Your Niche. I'll put a link to it in the comments. It's been selling and people have been posting their ahas in the group and people are loving it. And I've got a coupon code for you. And it's the cheapest way to get your hands on like the high level strategies that I work with my one-on-one clients on. But you've got to know your niche. So that's a tool available for you if you want it. But if you already are clear on your niche, you just need to come back to that. Like you got to know your niche and be confident that you can help them, right? Then you've got to be showing up consistently and persistently for, I recommend at least 90 days to that niche, like providing them with value, like not looking around at what everyone else is doing, not the shiny object syndrome, not going, oh, this person can fix my business or this person can make my business skyrocket or like whatever. This system is proven. Like that's just not how it works. Yes, every person who's had success is going to have some number of people whose, that same success formula works for, but it's not every single one, right? So it depends on you. It depends on how you want to build your business. The key points that everybody who has had business success share, the key traits are that you own your niche, you create your confidence because confidence is a learnable skill, and you show up consistently and persistently to provide value and offer your services or your products to that niche, right? You do not fall off. You do not hide out. You do not make excuses, sorry, not sorry, about how your photos aren't good enough, right? You do not look around at what everyone else is doing and mindlessly scroll Facebook and get overwhelmed and say, well, there's too many people doing it. This can't work for me. None of those things. If you're doing those things, it's okay. We've all been there. But that's not what creates a successful business, right? Successful business comes out of taking strategic action that comes from a place of confidence, right? And not just beating yourself over the head going, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Not saying it won't be uncomfortable when you're doing something new, but allowing yourself to look at, what do I feel is the best way to build my business, and what's it going to take for me to actually take that action? And again, and again, and again. Because I'll tell you what, so I have this Facebook group, Life with Passion Society, which I adore and which is amazing and which I'm in every day. And as the time of this recording, it's got about 1,200 members. And I watch a lot of people show up and disappear, show up and disappear. And I watch a handful of people show up consistently. And girl, I'm going to tell you what, the ones who show up consistently are the ones who get clients from this very group, which is amazing, right? They build relationships on the side. They connect. They reach out to each other. They hire each other. They ask for recommendations in PM or in the group or whatever. Like, that is the Life with Passion Society lady economy, right? But it does not come from the people who share a post from their page once a month when they go around sharing a post from their page to all the different Facebook groups. Like, people sniff that out. And I know that and a lot of times I delete it because I have a no spam policy. And guess what? That qualifies to me as spam if you're not here as a real person and you're only just here to spam us. But here's the thing too, when I was starting to get to know Facebook groups, because I was not a Facebook group person before I entered this space. I didn't even really know that they were a thing. I had never even been in a Facebook group until I joined my first group coaching program. But what I have come to understand is that they're a community like anything else. And a lot of times, like, I used to hear people say, oh, you gotta connect, you gotta build real relationships. And like, to be honest, that felt overwhelming to me. I didn't know what that meant when I was getting started, because I thought, how am I supposed to do that? Like, I don't have the time to be in 50 Facebook groups, right? So here's my advice about using Facebook groups to build your business. Like, maybe you just pick one. Maybe you just pick one and you set a timer on your phone and you scroll through like for 5 minutes and you look for things that you could comment on that resonate with you, that you could answer or help with, and you answer those or comment on them or help with them. And then maybe you post one thing of your own that shares something that you know. Like, maybe you do a 5-day series like I do a lot of times. Or maybe you ask a question that you genuinely want to know. Like, you do not have to have a huge strategy to get started building businesses or building relationships in a group. You just need to be willing to go and to share and to be genuine, but you don't have to do it in a huge way. It does not take a lot to be visible. You don't have to spend an hour a day. The other thing I want to mention, let me know if you have questions about that, okay? Live or on replay. Tag me so that I make sure to see it. The other thing I want to mention, this is a huge hack. In fact, I'm going to post it right here. Sharing a huge productivity hack. Sharing a huge productivity hack right here. This is something that I've been working with several of my high-level clients on, and I want to share it with you too, okay? It's going to seem really simple, but it has been like very profound and powerful for my clients when they've implemented it. And it is this. Take your phone and turn off the notifications on it. Turn them off. Take your phone and turn off your notifications for Facebook, for Instagram, for whatever other social platforms that you use, for your email. Turn it off. Because what happens is, with those notifications on, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, whatever, those sites are controlling your time, not you, right? Whenever somebody else decides to post a comment or like something or whatever, those sites notifying you on your phone pull you out of whatever you are doing and back onto the platform. Oh, I got to see what they said. Oh, I got to see what they said. Oh, who liked, who loved, who commented, who shared, whatever. Listen, Linda. We just watched that the other night. Listen, if you're saying you don't have enough time and you have notifications turned on your phone, do this, and I guarantee you're going to free up a ton more time, because there is a study that says that every time you get interrupted, it takes you 23 minutes to get back to the task that you were having. 23 minutes. It's almost half an hour. That's absurd, right? So let me tell you how I do this for myself personally. I do not have any email, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Messenger notifications pop up on my home screen. I have the content of any text message hidden. Like I do get texts, like notifications pop up on my phone, and I do get call notifications pop up on my home screen, like we'll say whoever's calling, but most of the time my phone is turned over like this. And guess what? All the time it's on silent. All the time it's on silent. You want to know how much I get done, or how I get so much done with a 1-year-old? I get in and out of Facebook. I do not let it act like a casino, right? Like I say, Facebook's like a casino. They don't want you to leave, so they make it hard to leave, which is a reference from Ocean's 11, by the way. It's designed to make it hard to leave. A casino is. You can't figure out where to cash your chips. I'm not really a gambler, but I have been to Vegas and I've seen that that's true. Like, where do I go to get my money, right? Oh, I think I'll play a slot machine over here. You can't figure out how to get out, right? Facebook is the same way. Notifications constantly popping up, the little red thing in the corner or at the bottom of the screen if you're on your phone, like leaving it up while you're doing other things. Oh, I just got to click over and see what that number 1 is. Or like right now, I have 31 notifications that shows in the little parentheses, like next to my thing. And a lot of times it's like over 100 overnight. Whatever. Like, it's not the first thing I check in the morning. It's not the last thing I do at night. I believe that if you want to create, you want to show up consistently, happen to your social media and your email, check it twice a day rather than constantly responding to what's going on. That is so important. And I would love to hear from you if that makes sense, if that's something that you're willing to try. If you have struggled with the notifications, if you leave the tab open on your computer of your email all the time, and why do you think that is? And if you leave Facebook open all the time on your phone, or you're constantly checking and scrolling it, another thing that you can do that I do is, like, I do not have Facebook on my home screen. I do not have it on my home screen. I have to scroll over like 4 screens to get to Facebook. I have to think about it, right? I have to think about going onto Facebook. It's not just like open, go down, like first, there it is, right? My email is on the last screen. There have been times I don't even have it on my phone, right? Because when I sit down to do my email twice a day, I respond, I send the emails that I need to send out, and then I click out. On Facebook, I respond, I post, I do what I need to do, I check my notifications, see what I need to respond to, and then I'm out. I close out and I let Facebook happen and do its thing, and I'm done. So if you're telling yourself you don't have enough time, are your notifications on? That's where I would start. This hack is going to give you so much more time, so much more creativity and mind space, and so much less FOMO, fear of missing out, so much less overwhelm about what someone else is doing, what all these other people are doing. And I opt in here. If I opt in here, I don't want to miss out on like these freebies, right? Trying to piece them all together rather than allowing yourself to focus. I'm looking up at these little hummingbirds, 2 little hummingbirds on my feeder. They were chirping at me this morning when I was outside. It's funny. Did you know they're actually quite aggressive and territorial? It was like, so I know you're glad that you're getting hummingbird impersonation from me if you're watching this. Does that make sense? And do you have questions? Do you have questions? Comment below if you've got questions about this or about something related maybe that brings up for you. But I want you to really, and that's my challenge to you, is if you find yourself saying that you don't have enough time to build your business, maybe you're still in a 9-to-5, or maybe you've quit and you find yourself overwhelmed, sitting down at the computer. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get a hold of my time. I don't know how to make myself productive. Listen, if your notifications are on your phone, or you're leaving your tab of your email or your Facebook or Instagram or whatever open when you're on your computer. Start there. If you're looking for strategy as opposed to just like, I talk a lot about mindset because usually people don't realize that so much of building a business is mindset. And we hear so much about the strategies, and that's where we tend to focus. But I talk a lot about mindset because I see it as such a missing piece. Here is a simple, focused strategy for you. You can take it, you can implement it right now. It's free. If you have the guts to do it, I guarantee you will find more time in your day. Check Facebook twice a day, check your email twice a day, put it in your calendar, and stay out of it the rest of the time. My clients who have implemented this are like, oh my gosh, it actually works. Ah! Right? So Jamie says, that makes so much sense. Yes, I have found myself wasting time on what do I do? So many things to do. Where do I start? Yeah, Jamie, so I'd love to dive in on that a little bit with you. Maybe we can do that inside Leave Your 9 to 5 Live, right? On the call so that we can really go deep into exactly what works best for you and your business. I think that would be a great place to do that. Leave Your 9 to 5. If you're watching this, Leave Your 9 to 5 Live is my group coaching program, and we're right in the midst of that, and I'm super honored to have Jamie be a part of that. So I think, Jamie, thank you for sharing that because I think it's really common, and I think I appreciate that you're willing to be vulnerable and just say like, yeah, I totally ask myself over and over, what do I do? So many things to do. Where do I start? And I think where we actually get traction is where we give ourselves permission to go, I'm not going to worry about anything else but this one thing. And when this one thing is done, I'll think about something else, right? Rather than just like churning in our brains. And so a lot of times we do need some help figuring out what that one thing is. And so I would be happy to help you with that, Jamie. Yeah, I think that's a really great awareness to have because then you could do something with it. Beautiful. So that is my big tip for you. Turn off those notifications and let me know how it goes. I want you to come back here. You can comment on this. You can do your own standalone post in the group. It will take you less than 24 hours to see the results of this if you turn off the dings and the beeps. And listen, there are ways that you can set it up for people to get a hold of you. There's do not disturb mode where only certain texts will come through, whatever. But don't let your phone and don't let your computer dictate how you spend your time. If you're building a business, you get to decide how you want to spend your time. And then once you take charge of that, then you can really start to make progress, feel like you're making momentum, show up consistently, and not feel totally overwhelmed and scattered and flighty anymore. So I'd love to hear what you think of this. I'd love to hear if this is something you're going to implement. Drop me a comment below, and I'm excited for you. Here's to discovering a whole bunch more time in your day. I'm Christine McAllister, and I'll talk to you soon.